Hey buddy, it's Invicta. It's time for another Double Jeopardy here, the second ever Double Jeopardy that we've ever run in the Judging of Isaac sub-series. And today, as you can tell by the thumbnail, we are going to be re-examining Mars, because I do want to see what the new Mars is all about, and a lot of people have been asking questions about it. I also have the clicker pretty much next on the schedule for Judging of Isaac. I was going to do that today, but because Mars has had the most significant change, I'm going to do that first, and then next week will be the clicker. So thank you all very much for the support and the continued support on the Judging of Isaac series. I'm glad that a lot of people look forward to Wednesday, as I do as well. Here's your screenshot of the day, brought to you by Macedone on the Sinvicta subreddit. Tile thread was, in 8 years of this game, I've never seen something like this. Yeah, a quadruple item room with no reroll, no way to get around the first item pedestal, and they're all bad. Yeah, that is a repentance looking item room that I've ever seen one. So, and then someone in the comments also said it was something to the effect of, how could something be so glorious and also terrible at the same time? Yeah. Yep, so here we go. If you don't know what the changes to Mars have been, well, I'll talk about it in just a moment. Here's your seed if you want to play along. Again, it's not going to really matter because we're going to give ourselves Mars, Alpha Echo 2 Hotel Quebec Lima Bravo. And I'm going to give myself Mars. And that is about it. Now, people were saying that I shouldn't be playing with the D6. I disagree. I think that the D6 gets us the best possible scenarios that we can have with these items whenever we're trying to make them just look better. But obviously with Mars, it's a little bit different because Mars is just it's its own thing. There's no synergies or anything. So as you see now, Mars will not give you the shield. It'll give you iframes. A pretty healthy amount of iframes as well. But the biggest significant change that I would say to Mars has been the fact that there's no more fissure. So before, if you didn't know, whenever you would charge and make contact with an enemy, you would provide a little wait what fissure, and it would break rocks, it would open up secret rooms, all that kind of good stuff. Now all that it does is just do that little puff of fire, and that's it. And the fire, the fire could be pretty useful. Generally speaking, fire is, in my opinion, considered to be the weakest of the effects, but you used to be able to run into rocks here with Mars and blow these up. Now you can't do that. And I think that is a significant downgrade to what Mars used to have. And it's kind of a running joke in the community right now, for the greater Isaac community, that Nicholas, they don't really know what they want to do with this item, and I tend to agree with that. I mean, when you keep changing an item over and over and over again, it kind of sends the signal of like, so what's the deal? What's going on with this item? Do we want it to do this, or just testing, that sort of thing? But we'll see. I said that I do think that the old Mars, the one that was before the nerf that they did, or the change, I guess it didn't have to technically be considered a nerf, but I think that one was a little bit better because of the shield. They just needed to remove the ability to actually tap demon judgments and stuff. It's Small Rock and Style, which are two great items for us here. I think that so far, anyway, because of the way that the iframes work, it should still be okay to use Mars as your primary source of damage. The charge radius, or the burning radius after the charge, is pretty significant. I just don't know how much damage the fire deals, and depending on if they scale with your damage or not, or if they just do a flat amount of damage, will definitely determine whether or not I think that Mars has overall improved or not. So we get 9 lives here, which again, continuing the trend of Judging of Isaac runs being absolute bangers here on the Twitch save file. Unfortunately, we didn't get the tiers upgrade, but that's definitely where we're going to be trying to spend it all. And it's doing good damage. Whether or not, and look at that, it actually hit through the rocks too. So can we do that again? Yeah, we don't kill them with the fire, but we kill them with the impact. They can kind of bounce off of the wall there, and oh my gosh, we get Sigil Baphomet, which is just perfect for Mars. Wow. Okay, so now we basically have the old Mars back, except it's with fire instead of the fissures. Yeah. That is essentially the quintessential judging of Isaac. I say that though, and then we all remember exactly what happened with the double jeopardy of TM Trainer, and yeah, that one was hard confirmed. I think at this point. Yeah, we'll take Cancer. Cancer's going to give us the ability to have the wafer effect if we ever take damage, and with between Sigil of Baphomet and Mars's iframes, I think we should be okay. We might be able to bomb our way into the secret room and then into the boss trap room, or not. That's fine too. There was no IV bags, or there was no Tempest machine, so we can't get the wire code hanger. The secret room's to the left of here, by the way. So probably should have saved a bomb, but let's go check out the boss and see what we got going on. Already with one Guppy item and a good amount of damage here. So, and I will be making a conscious effort to use Mars as our primary source of damage whenever it's up. I do love the burning factor of Mars. We got bounced into the fire. That's the first bit of damage we've taken there. It was not from an enemy. It was not from a shot or spikes or anything. We got bounced into a fire. Obviously we want to take the mark. We need some more movement speed here. That is also going to give us a very nice damage upgrade. I'm also going to take Succubus as well, just for the damage boosting. Quite nice. She does deal a good amount of damage, obviously. Now we can go into the boss trap room because we only have 1 HP. And yeah, we'll take a latch key. Give us 2 soul hearts here, or give us a soul heart and 2 keys. Okay, so that burning damage didn't do too bad of a job here against Dangle. I kind of like the idea of being able to charge and do AoE, like a more reliable AoE, but the problem really stems, for me anyway, is the risk of just charging into a bunch of enemies and then not having any sort of protection. I don't know how long those iframes last, but what I will say is that so far, Mars feels pretty good. And you know what? Let's give it the ultimate test. Let's go alt path. Why not? I do think it feels like the Sigil of Baphomet is definitely allowing us to have a little bit better leeway. We get Leviathan, which also allows me to take Lusty Blood too. Wow, this run's getting out of control in a hurry. I mean, in a hurry, dude. God's Flesh, definitely don't want that. Absolutely don't want Cursed Eye. Let's just go get the knife piece now. Yeah, I won't let you cheat and see what's inside of the boss trap room. I can lie, I thought that the Mars was already recharged there. I don't know if Mars is immune while you're charging. I'll have to talk to Zombolis about that. But this combined with Sigil of Baphomet plus the plus Maw of the Void seems really, really, really strong. Especially if we have bosses like Min Min that spawn ads. We get a little bit more movement speed back. I'm super happy with that. So far, so smooth here for Mars. Super Bandage is going to give us some HP back. And there's Min Min again. Yeah, it looks like we do actually deal a little bit more contact damage whenever we push them into the wall. Yeah, I guess Quince is fine. Yeah, this really is like the old Mars here with this invincibility shield from Sigil of Baphomet. Really, really strong. Get 4 cents for 1 bomb's not terrible. Ace of clubs, and we'll buy a soul heart here. Cat 9 tails again, more damage. We've already been in there. We might as well just keep on going. There's even a tinted rocket here, man. Game, you really know how to make Judging of Isaac too easy sometimes. Oh, 1 second, everybody. Okay, sorry about that. Had a quick phone call. Judging of Isaac seems to really thrive off of giving us like the actual best items that we can get. And even if it's not like items that synergize with the item in question, we just seem to have strong runs. We get school bag here, but unfortunately we don't have any more keys. Look at that. Mars can just charge right into a charging enemy and just say, all right, come at me, bro. I gotta say, the more that I'm seeing this, the more that I'm seeing the fire effect, the more I'm starting to kind of like it, to be honest. That little poof or not poof, that little puff of AoE damage you get out of there, even though it's not a fissure necessarily, it's still kind of nice. Okay, so obviously this fight would be an absolute breeze here if we had the old Mars, but unfortunately we don't. Because obviously we just do the fissure attacks and that's that. But we had high frames for that one. What an annoying fight here with the bombs being on a freaking railway. Go back over here to the item room. Okay, so you still can tap. You can tap judgments and beggars still. That's interesting. You can't just run right through them. So be a little cautious on that. And I'm guessing that also means demon judgments and also temperance machines. You can't just blast your way through. There's so many people who love to defend Haemolacria, and every single time I see Haemolacria, I'm just like, yeah, it's a big damage upgrade, but it's not. The tears down really sucks. There's a good cause. There's a good amount of support for Haemolacria because it does deal so much damage. And I honestly think that, like, I do think that Haemolacria can be good under certain conditions. It's one of those coins that you just, or coins. Yeah, one of those coins. It's one of those items that if you have the proper amount of support for it, it can really thrive. And I think that it's an exciting item to have whenever you have something like Parasite, whenever you have Patreon, or Patreon. Dude, my mind is all over the place right now. Whenever you have Parasite, when you have Cricket's Body, any of the split tier effects that can cause more Haemolacria shots to be let out that is the biggest thing for me before ever considering Haemolacria, because you also have to take into account, oh my gosh, you also have to take into account, like, if you take something like, say, Ipecac, for example, it makes it extremely dangerous to have. And the tears down is also going to prevent you from staying safe in certain situations. That doesn't necessarily have a problem if you don't have Haemolacria. But you can say that for a lot of tier effects as well. I mean, there's not a whole lot of subtlety there. It's just either does this help us or not. If it does, great. If not, then whatever. But I do like Hamolacria under, again, certain conditions, and it would make a very good, very interesting episode of Judging of Isaac too. My brain is still in the phone call mode right now. It's like we got Patreon over here. Telling my doctor that. tell my doctor, hey doc, are you signed up for my Patreon? I do love all the support from the Patreon mosh pit. We've had a couple new signups this past week so far. Thank you, everybody. There will be more Patreon rewards coming, along with exclusive merch. There is still the exclusive keychains on there as well. A lot of new subscribers here on YouTube don't know about the keychains, but they are 3D printed keychains, which are very high quality. And also for certain tiers, $25 or higher, whatever it's kind of like a free pledge type Patreon. There are rewards attached to the levels, obviously. The basic level gets you access to the Discord for 30 days or however long you have a subscription. I am planning on doing like meetups, or not meetups, but games and that sort of stuff, like lobbies and everything. Where we could play with the mosh pit. All that stuff is stuff that I would like to do. It's just a matter of actually like working on it and getting it done. And that will be for all levels of the Patreon. Eventually, I'm going to be adding more exclusive merchandise to the higher tiers. So in addition to the keychain tier, you also, if you keep your sub there, that Patreon sub, if you keep it there, you can also you'll be put into the queue of a drawing, like a little wheel that we spin every month to get one of the exclusive and very limited edition golden keychains, where I've signed it for everybody. They're autographed, and we just gave away our last one a couple days, not last one, but we gave away this one's a couple days ago. So all kinds of fun stuff happening on the Patreon, and the Patreon goes directly to supporting myself as well as Mark and all of our music and band stuff. So I appreciate everybody who does do that for us. Another shell. Another Tough Twins duo here. This one is significantly easier because they don't move nearly as fast as the other ones do. There we go. Regular old HP upgrade. We have no idea how much HP we have. And oh my gosh. It doesn't matter because we're gonna be charged. Oh, never mind. Take that back. I guess we had more than one Red Heart HP. I take that back. Yeah, that was a perfect room for the Ace of Spades there. Yeah, I mean, in regards to Hamolacria, again, it's just one of those situationally good items that under the right conditions can really ball out of control. And there's other conditions where it's like, generally speaking, just the tiers down is what kills it for me. You know, Mars is still able to dispatch these enemies up close, and honestly, I'm kind of wondering. I'm wondering if Proptosis is synergizing with Mars. If so, that is an amazing combo. Like, straight up. So far, I haven't noticed a significant difference in our ability to deal damage here and one-shot things. We've kind of been doing that anyway, so... In fact, I'm gonna... Again, sorry about all the alt-tabs here. I'm going to ask Zombolus right now. It's a live Zombolus. Does Proptosis or other damage scaling affect new Mars? All right, I've got my Discord window open, and I will see what he says. That was a neat little curved charge there. Haven't taken much damage on this run. I kind of want to give myself Spider Mod just to see what the HP of these mobs are, and if they are decreasing or declining at a faster rate because of Proptosis or not, just to get damage numbers. So I'm not gonna fire. I'm only gonna use Mars in this fight. I'm only using Mars here. Forgot you can get hit by the chain. Okay. Well, we have to deal damage here. Okay. That burn lasts a pretty good amount of time. We just silenced the mask somehow. Okay, now for S's and G's, I'm going to give myself the glowing hourglass. I'm going to undo this. I'm also going to remove Proptosis temporarily. Because I'm curious to see if it does deal more damage here, or if it's just a flat amount of damage. Okay, it looks like it's dealing less damage to me. Yeah, that looks like it's dealing less damage. I'm not gonna lie. So it's possible that Proptosis could be synergized. Wow, we just got Guppy too. Of course we did. Good old judging of Isaac. And we even had a pretty good roll there with experimental treatment. So it does appear that Mars does seem to have some sort of synergy with Proptosis. To the naked eye, it's a little bit difficult to check. Obviously, I'd have to give myself Spider Mod. But I mean, we're one-shotting these mobs without too much hassle at all, really. See if we can get a payout here from Judgment. Well, we got a payout, but it wasn't the one that I wanted. Hermit card. Oh. We can use the reverse Hermit card in here. Get a little bit of extra coinage. Yeah, we're one-shotting these mobs here just as easy as if we were just shooting them with high damage. So it's a pretty impressive amount of damage, I'm going to be honest. Of course, we run into spikes. Okay, so that one was ricochet damage. The second one that we impacted there didn't actually have anything, and then we just get Spider Mod anyway. So like the Judging of Isaac is seriously the series of whatever I need to ask for, just simply ask. Take the Polaroid since we are going to be fighting Mother here. I mean, we don't need any of these at this point. Oh my gosh. Well, we get Abdab Ding Dong and then Empty Vessel. We made Boss Rush as well. And honestly, for a Mother run, like an alt path tap, we've got legitimately another 6 minutes or so before it would run out. So we made this in no time at all. And I really wish that we had kept my reroll. All right. Zombola says the burn damage, yes. But not the impact damage. The Zombola said that the burn damage scales with Proptosis. That's pretty incredible. Game? Apparently that door stayed... Has the mother door always stayed open like that? Or the It Lives fight always stayed open like that during the fight? Weird. So, confirmation from Zombolas and breaking news, the damage scaling works from the new Mars's flames. So that's pretty amazing, honestly. And now I'm really, really, really interested in seeing how crazy Mars can get. A whole butt ton of money here, but nothing to spend it on. Yeah, that's real powerful here. Remember, we're not on a victory lap or anything. Y'all, we're just playing through here with Mars, and I gotta say that we are burning it up. Quite literally, we're tearing it up here. So I guess the next operative question is going to be: do we miss the fissure effect all that much? If I recall correctly, I was less than enthused and impressed with the amount of damage that the fissure was doing. And I don't know... Wow, we just got a bunch of soul hearts in a row. I don't know if the damage ever scaled with the fissure damage and your regular base damage. So that's something else I'll have to ask Zombolas, because if it didn't, and now we have damage scaling based on the fire attack, the actual like flame effects, that's really, really, really cool and interesting. I honestly forgot that thing did a brimstone attack. There goes Rot Gut. We get another Tears upgrade here, which we are already capped with. And I think I will take Sulfur. We reroll everything else, and we get D-Bizzle. Look at that. D-Bizzle, and we get the Pact as well. And I feel strong enough to where I don't think we need to worry about Mother here, even with 3.5 HP. We're still aggressively charging into all these rooms here, and you know that, and you got to think as well. We're also front loading a lot of the fly damage because of the Guppy, the Perthrow, which doesn't really matter obviously because we're at the end of the run here. But I gotta say, you know, as we come up to the conclusion of this run, really impressive stuff from the new Mars, the new Mars. Now that I know that the flame damage is scaling with our base damage, that's really appealing. And that burning damage seems like it really does work. I've been watching the numbers here from Spider Mod ever since we got it, and they burn for quite a bit of damage, like at least a couple of our regular shots worth of damage. D-Bizzle, you're failing here. Fun. Now, it could just be because we also have Sigil of Baphomet and just happens to be the perfect trinket for Mars. But that's what the Judging of Isaac is putting these items that we're kind of unsure of and putting them in the most advantageous position to succeed that we can, to say that in the best case scenario, is this item still going to be bad or not? And under these conditions, oh my, what is happening with this? This run is nuts. Get a random shop just showing up. It's not even a shop. It's like just a random item for sale. And I also happen to have Jacob's Ladder, which is even better. Under these conditions, I will say Mars is it's very good to have. I don't know, I still don't know, and I'm not 100% convinced that it couldn't be a hard carry item, but if it's almost better off to be a almost like a carry support item in a way. Like, you're not going to use it for your main source of damage most of the time, but you can really kind of guide yourself towards having the Mars effect be your source of damage. Like, look at the burst of damage that we get here. Look at that. There's a lot of extra hits there. That's just from using the burning effect against Mother. She's an endgame boss. I mean, I know that we have sulfur, but we don't even need sulfur at this point, I don't think. Empty Vessel helping us out as well. I did not mean to charge there. That was really only the first accidental charge we had, and Mother's just dead. She's just dead. Cancer, of course, helped out a lot as well. And, man, I gotta say that the new Mars is pretty interesting. Now that I know that it scales with damage, that makes it far more appealing. Zombolis also just messaged me, and he just said that the impact damage does scale with damage as well. He believes, but he's not 100% on that. So I'll find out for more, but final judgment here on Double Jeopardy. I gotta say, you know, honestly, Mars is a possible must-take. It's definitely gone up in my opinion anyway of the item that compared to what it was before. And even though losing the fissure was kind of devastating on paper, I got to say that we just went through an entire run and I didn't miss the fissure one bit. The only time that the fissure really matters is if you're going to, like, if you're just on the ground and you have no bombs or anything like that to access tinted rocks or pots or anything, or secret rooms. But outside of that very niche scenario, the fire seems to do a lot more damage. So yeah, final verdict, I would say give the new Mars a try. I think I will start picking it up, even though we only had one very accidental slip at the very end against Mother. I'm not going to hold it against that because that's just an input thing. Interesting and impressive is what I'll say. So thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you click the like button and leave a comment down below. As always, I do appreciate all new subscribers here as well, for those of you who joined the Mosh Pit in either the YouTube paid memberships or the Discord via Patreon or going through Twitch subs. All that stuff supports myself and my channel. And again, I cannot thank you enough for doing so. And as always, I'll see you all next time. Until then, so long, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. I'd like to thank some patrons of mine like Sylvia5956, Newborn God, and Crypto14. If you'd like to have your name read at the end of an Isaac episode, check out my Patreon campaign, which you can find at patreon.com/Invicta.